Now, everyone has done your SPM or your O-level and secondary school, and this is the common question that we always have. Some students are thinking about, okay, now I want to go for traveling. Of course, now everyone's out at home, you can go traveling. And some students, they're thinking, okay, I have made my SPM, so it's time for me to take a break. So a lot of the time I've heard from students saying that, okay, I want to take a break, I want to maybe try out some part-time job and see whether I can make some money out of it. And some students are saying, okay, or they start dreaming, okay, now I'm done with SPM, maybe I should start some business ventures where I can make a lot of money and then I can buy my dream car, I can go to the places that I want, and I can even buy a dream house. But out of all of this, the most common questions that we have from the students is, okay, I want to further studies. What do I do now? And there's so many options available. So I'm sure those who are actually reading this slide now, so you can see a lot of question marks on my slide. So I believe this is what you are feeling now. You just don't know what you want to do after SPM or after the O-level. So these are the common academic options after SPM. I'm going to go through it one by one. So if you're talking about the government institutions, this is what you have. So for government institutions, of course, you can go for matriculations or our well-known STPN. And both of these, due to this current MCO and the outbreak of COVID-19, the government has preferred the intake and the examination of these two programs. And then for private institutions, these are the common programs that we have. We're talking about foundation studies, we're talking about A-level, we're talking about the Australian pre-U programs, the Canadian pre-U programs, diploma, ADP, and IDDP. I'm going to go through one by one later to give you a comparison among all of these courses so you know the pros and cons and which one is more suitable for you. So for foundation studies, generally, if you look at our Malaysian scenario, generally we have foundation in arts, foundation in science, which are the common foundation programs in Malaysia. Then further on, we also have foundation in engineering, foundation in IT, and foundation in medical sciences. These are the common programs that we have in Malaysia, and this is the common one that you can find in private institutions. Of course, different private institutions, they offer different kinds of foundation studies. Then A-level is very straightforward. A-level, I believe everyone has heard of it. And Australian pre-U program, the common one that we have here is SEGi, the South Australian Certificate of Application, and the next one is Australian Matriculation. Then we have the Canadian pre-U program. The common one is Canadian International Matriculation Program, CIMP, or the Canadian pre-U program. Next, we have diploma. Diploma is, I would say that in 80s or in early 90s, this was fairly common among our parents or among seniors. Because diploma is a certificate that gives you the job readiness after you complete it. Then we have the ADP, American Degree Program. So, American Degree Program. This is a special program that can allow you to go to an American degree later on. Then we have the IDDP. So what are all these programs about? A lot of the time the students get confused because they do share some similarities and they do not know what is the ultimate pathway that all of these programs are going to lead them to. So if you are talking about matriculation, this is a government program, as I said. So it actually caters for entry into our public institutions, or in short, IPTA. And for matriculation, it covers science, the technical pathway of accounting streams. The subjects are, we're talking about 5 or 6 subjects in matriculation. And the subjects are very geared towards the degree program that we have in our public institutions. Then we have STPN. STPN is a widely recognized pre-U program, and it caters for arts and science disciplines only. And for STPN, I would say that it's widely recognized worldwide. It's not only in Malaysia. For example, the UK University and Knowledge as well, and all the Commonwealth countries and Knowledge. Then we have the foundation studies, or we call it the pre-U programs in some of the universities. So these foundation programs are designed by individual universities. And the way that it is designed, it actually bridges the gap between the foundation level and the degree studies. So usually when individual universities design foundation studies, it actually designed it towards bridging the gap to the degree programs of that particular university. For example, if I have a lot of sciences degrees in my university, then I would most likely have a foundation in science. And for example, if I have a medical degree in my university, I might be having a foundation in medical sciences. So it is very geared towards the discipline a particular university has. And A-level, this is a widely accepted university program from the UK, and I believe all of you have heard about it. It is famous because of the recognition that it gains throughout the world, and it is also famous because of its difficulty level. And then we have Australian Pre-U. Australian Pre-U leads you to an Australian Year 12 qualification after you complete it. Having said that, if you complete the Australian Pre-U program in Malaysia, for example, then you can go to an Australian university in the to continue with your degree. Then you have the Canadian Pre-U program. Okay. The Canadian Pre-U program is equivalent to a secondary school of diploma in Canada. And similarly, if you complete Canadian Pre-U, it will grant you entry into a Canadian university easier because of the requirements that a Canadian university has. Then diploma. As I said earlier, this is an industry-related academic program. Once you complete it, it usually leads you to the job places eventually. So it means that it's usually skill-based program, diploma. I'm not saying that it is not academic. It is academic, but at the same time, it gives you the essential skills that you need to be job ready and to start the job right after it. Then we talk about ADP. So this is a program that is based on the American education system. As we all know, American education system is very different from the UK system that, for example, most Malaysian universities are using. When we talk about American degree program, they actually boast a blend of disciplines. They do not only confine themselves to, for example, just science or just business. I'll just give you a very brief example. For example, if you are doing an American degree program in the business majors, you are expected to learn some sciences as well. So if you are doing a science major in ADP, you are expected to do some arts disciplines as well. This is how the American degree program works. Then we have IBDP. IBDP is a PU program from Switzerland, and it is well known for its well-balanced but academically challenging curriculum. I would say that the way that IBDP is designed, it makes sure that you have the soft skills, you have the core academic knowledge, and then you have the other essential skills for you to be a well-rounded person, I would say that. But then, at the same time, it is very difficult academically. So if you talk about the courses and disciplines that we have, for matriculation, they're talking about 5 subjects, and it's either science or accounting or technical. If you're talking about STPM, we're talking about the number of courses, minimum 4 and maximum 5. It can be science or non-science. Okay, I'm actually talking about the courses and disciplines because to certain students, the number of courses and the disciplines need to be a concern for them. So I believe if you know the number of courses that you are going to complete, it's going to help you to make a decision on which PU program is better for you or is more suitable for you. And then for foundation studies, it varies depending on the programs and the institutions. For example, the foundation program in SEGi University, for foundation in arts and foundation in science that we have, we're talking about 13 courses each for foundation in arts and foundation in science. And as we look at the next row, the disciplines, depending on the institution, it can either be science or arts. But as I said earlier, if you have a medical degree or if a university is focusing on the medical degree, they can have a foundation in medical sciences. So it actually depends on individual university. Then we have A level. So when you talk about A-level, you're talking about the minimum of 3 subjects or the maximum of 4 subjects. It's usually science or non-science only, and it's academically challenging. And Australian PU, we're talking about 5 subjects, including English, and this can be a combination of courses from different disciplines. I would say that Canadian PU, Australian PU, and ADP, they share some similarity. Usually, they do expect students to have a blend of disciplines or a blend of courses to complete. It's none of that like our usual Malaysian education system or Malaysian PU programs. And for Canadian PU, I continue on. For Canadian PU, we're talking about 6 courses in total that they have to take, and it can be a combination of courses from different disciplines. And for diploma, then we can have diploma in early childhood education, and diploma in automotive, engineering. All of these depends on the university and the market trend, if you ask me. Usually, the university will run a diploma program that has a market need. And depending on the nature of the diploma program, we're talking about generally 2 to 3 years to complete the diploma program. And now we go to ADP. ADP varies depending on the program. The number of courses can be from, they're talking about 20, and it could be more. So it actually depends on the discipline that you are working on. And courses usually cover both art and science disciplines. And for IDCP, this is a special one. We're talking about 6 plus 3, and 1 course each from the 6 groups at different difficulty level. And the 6 groups that we are talking about is language and literature, and then individuals in societies, sciences, maths, and arts. And if we look at difficulty level, for IPTP it's a little bit different. So you are required to choose higher level difficulty level or standard level difficulty level. It usually requires 3 options for you to complete the IPTP. And matriculation, this is the assessment structure that we are talking about for all the pre-U programs that we have. And why we are talking about this, because this is also a common question that most of the students are asking. Some students, they prefer more coursework, and some students, they prefer more examinations. So I believe this has something to do with the way of learning that they prefer. Some students, they prefer more hands-on, and some students prefer memorization. So it really depends. So I think to have this piece of info, it will help you to make a decision better. For matriculation, we're talking about coursework plus examination, and the average duration to complete the matriculation is 12 months. And the average tuition fee is less than 1,000 because this is a government program. And for STPM, we're talking about 100% examination. Of course, they have continuous assessment in between, but at the end, they're still looking at 100% examination. Of course, now they go by the CGPA system, but it's still 100% examination. So you really need to be academically inclined if you want to score in STPM. And the average duration to complete STPM is 18 months, and the average tuition fee is less than 1,000. Basically, to go through STPM and matriculation is somehow free for you, but the one case refers to the general expenses and books and some other miscellaneous expenses. And then for foundation studies, we're talking about coursework plus examination. This is very much similar to the university degree programs already. And for a typical foundation studies, I will use SEGi as an example because I'm teaching SEGi, so I'll give you a more accurate information if I use SEGi as an example. For SEGi university foundation programs that we have, we're talking about 50% coursework and 50% examination. And this is in accordance with programs and the foundation. And the average duration for you to complete the foundation is 12 months. It means that within 1 year, you can complete the foundation. And the average tuition fee is 20K. This is the average tuition fee. But then now a lot of institutions have offered some kind of study grant to students, including SEGi. In SEGi University, if the students are continuing with the degree studies in SEGi, they actually get a foundation grant and they get the study foundation for free. And for A level, we're talking about 100% examination. So we are talking about it's something similar to STPM. You need to be academically inclined if you want to score well in A level. And this also requires some kind of, I would say that the memorization and understanding. You really need to have a good understanding of the subject matters that you are learning. And the average duration to complete A level is 18 months as well. And then next we have Australian PU program, depending on which Australian PU program that you are taking. So generally we are talking about 30 to 50% coursework or 50 to 70% of examination. So just like foundation, both a blend of coursework and examination. Both of these foundation studies, Australian PU, Canadian PU, diploma and ACE, believe in continuous assessment. Sometimes students can have these exam panic. They can perform well during normal class time, but then when exam comes, somehow they just get panicked and they can't perform. But we believe that it is only fair if we assess the students continuously. So we actually embrace coursework and examination. And the average duration for Australian PU is 10 months. The average duration we were talking about 25, 30K. Canadian PU, we're talking about 70% of coursework and 30% of examination. Canadian PU shares some similarity with the American PU programs. They are a believer of continuous assessment rather than examination. They feel that it is only fair if you assess the students continuously because you follow the program one full semester. We're talking about, for example, 4 months. So how can you assess the student just in that matter of 3 hours or 2 hours? So they believe that you should assess the students throughout the duration from the first to the 4th month. Only that is fair to the students. So this is the Canadian and American degree. So the general duration or average duration to complete the Canadian degree is 15 months. And for diploma, we're talking about coursework plus examination. Generally, to complete diploma, you need a 2.5 to 3 years. It depends on the credit hours that you have to complete. And generally, we're talking about 35K. And if you take a diploma, it is job ready. It means that after your diploma, you can go out to work. Otherwise, if you continue with your studies, usually if you have a diploma, you can actually straight away enter the second year of the degree studies in the same discipline. And then ADP. ADP is the American degree program that I mentioned. The average duration is 4 years, and we're talking about around 40K. Then we have IDCP. Okay, this is the complicated one. 90% of it is internal and external assessment, and we're talking about 50% coursework and 50 to 80% examination, and then we have this core component. So only certain private institutions in Malaysia offer this, and it's not really common. It's relatively less common compared to A-level or Australian PU. The average duration to complete is 2 years, and we're talking about 20K to 100K. So as you can see here, now you see that which program that you can actually complete it within the shortest duration, and which program that requires a longer duration for you to complete. And you can compare the tuition fees, because you like it or not, tuition fee is something practical and it's a real scenario that you have to consider, especially during this COVID-19 outbreak where a lot of people are affected. So if you ask me, a lot of parents tend to also ask me, or a lot of students tend to ask me, is it worth to spend so much money on PU, or should they keep the money for the degree? I'll come back to this later. Because there's no one answer to a question like this, because at the end of the day, it depends on what you want to do after your PU, and it also depends on what you are really looking at, what kind of study work is suitable for you. It is meaningless if you want to go for a program that's very, I would say, less financially challenging, but then it doesn't lead to the degree that you want. And it also doesn't make sense if you spend, let's say, too much money on a PU program while depleting your reserve to continue to a degree program. So it really depends on what you want, and there are a lot of factors that you have to consider. Now, this is a complicated slide, right? So I believe your mind is like this as well now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be looking at this presentation. There are too many choices in the market that you are unsure of or that you have come across too. And we're talking about stamping, matriculation, foundation. There's so many to choose from. So which is for you? Now, I've done a comparison for you. So I've done a mapping for you. This is, I wouldn't say comprehensive, but it is the best that I have come out from based on my experience advising the students and based on my experience and observation of the current academic trend. If you want something that is less costly and short course duration, then I think you should go for matriculation or foundation studies or even Australian PU or Canadian PU. But if you are very good academically and you want to challenge yourself, then you can go to SPM A-level. Of course, A-level is more expensive and SPM is less expensive. And if you're talking about breadth of knowledge, then the Australian PU, Canadian PU, and ABP can be for you. As I said, even if you are measuring in business, you need to learn about sciences. Even if you measure in sciences, you need to learn about the business and arts disciplines. If you would like to learn a breadth discipline and you want to try everything, then the Australian PU, Canadian PU, or ABP can be for you. And if you are the one that prefers to have continuous assessment, for example, you have this exam panic, usually you can perform well when you are in the classes, but when it comes to exam, for no reason, suddenly you just panic and you just can't perform, then maybe we should go to those programs that use continuous assessment, which is foundation, Australian PU, Canadian PU, or IBPT. And if you have already decided on the degree program that you want to study, then go to that university and join the relevant foundation studies or diploma or APT program of that particular university. Because it is always easier for you to start your PU program in the same university of the degree studies that you want to study. Because you will save time on trying to adapt to the environment. That's one thing. And secondly, by the time you start a degree, you will have already got used to the education system or the operation system of the university. And thirdly, as I said, for example, foundation studies, it is usually designed in a way to bridge the gap to the degree studies. You will actually find it easier to progress onto your degree studies if you choose to start a PU in the same university as your degree does. And if you are aiming at on a overseas degree, then maybe you should look at SPM, A-level, Australian PU, Canadian PU, ABP, or ABP. And if you are someone that likes practicals and you need hands-on learning, then you have to go for diploma. And if you like critical thinking, then IBTP is definitely for you because it requires a lot. It's not so. It is academic, but then it also has a lot of problem-solving kind of subjects that you really need to think about all those questions critically. And job readiness, of course, you have to go for diploma. So I guess I hope this is comprehensive enough for you. But anyway, you please feel free to ask questions later after I'm done with the presentation. I'll try to answer all the questions. And there are also a few factors to consider when you choose your PU program. As I said, there's no one-time answer that fits all. You really need to look at what you need to do at the end. Do you want a degree? That's the first thing. And secondly, tuition fees. As you watch in my previous slides, the tuition fees for every PU program is this. Do you have that reserve to do the PU program and the PU program together? These are some basic factors that you have to consider. And then what is this? And a lot of time when I show this, students won't understand, or parents will know what is this about, but then students usually can't imagine. So when I show this, it means living cost. You have to consider the living cost if you want to continue with your tertiary education. You might get your tuition fees free, for example. But then how about the living cost? So this is something that students tend to overlook. And only then, for example, I give you a very true example. Sometimes students go overseas to continue with their studies on scholarship. But there are terms and conditions for scholarship. Sometimes the scholarship only covers tuition fees. They don't cover the living expenses. A lot of the times, a lot of students struggle because they don't have that money for living costs. They overlook this part when they decide that they want to go overseas to further their studies. And then next thing, accommodation. So when it comes to accommodation, we're talking about, now you're leaving maybe your house or your home or your hometown to further your studies in another place. So how do you settle your accommodation? When you talk about accommodation, you not only talk about convenience, you not only talk about the safety, we also talk about the cost. So you really have to look at the accommodation cost. Some universities, they offer accommodation, but some don't. So this is the factors that you have to consider. And MRT, this is MRT. This is about transportation. Transportation is an issue that we really need to look into because over time, we have students who drop out because of transportation issues. But where is not SEGi University? For SEGi University, there's an MRT station just right behind us. So in less than 200 steps from the MRT station, you can reach SEGi University. So transportation-wise, in SEGi is strategically located if you want to access public transportation. And then accredited, Okay. When you choose a free program, take out all other factors. First of all, you have to make sure that it is an accredited program. We have an accreditation agency called MQA. You need to check whether a program is accredited by MQA because if it is not, it's not going to be recognized in Malaysia. And for a pre-U program, if you actually complete a free program that is not accredited, you won't be able to progress into any degree program. So please be careful of it. And for information on accreditation, you can always check the MQA website for the updated information. What is this? We're talking about, so when adults talk about work-life balance, we talk about the same for students. You need to study hard and you need to play hard as well. So the student activities that each university has or each college has is one of the factors that you want to consider because you can't be studying 100% of the time. So you need to have a balance of it. You need to have social activities. You need to communicate with your peers. You need to communicate with your seniors and everyone, and you need to back up your leadership skills. And all of these are trained to the student activities. Student cost. Okay. Of course, there is no physical education fair nowadays due to this outbreak of COVID-19. Usually when I present this in education fair, I always like to ask my students or parents to go around the education fair. And then when we visit each group of the university, try to get from them the tuition list, the tuition fee list. And then you remember to ask a question, which is whether they are hidden costs. Sometimes, sadly to say, not every university lists all the costs involved in the so-called tuition fee list. So when you actually get information from individual university or from course counselors, this is the part that you have to be careful with. When they tell you the tuition fee is free and waive this, we waive that, then you have to ask whether there are any other hidden costs, for example, examination costs, or whether they charge different things. These are the important things that we have to ask for. So don't forget about it. These are some of the factors, important factors that we need to consider before we choose a PU program. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you and all the best for your study.
Hi. Thank you so much, Dr. Chiong, for the sharing. Interesting to know that. You see, that's why I say sometimes the students of the SPM having their result on hand, they definitely will be confused with so much of variety, so much of options for them to choose about. So I hope that from the sharing by Dr. Chiong just now that the students out there or even some parents were able to differentiate in terms of their fees, in terms of durations, and the challenges or even the difficulty part of each program, or isn't it, with the information that presented by Dr. Chiong just now. Now we have a few questions coming up from Facebook Live. Perhaps I will ask that to Dr. Chiong, if you don't mind. Okay, now there's a student called, I think both of them could be SPM or A-level, I'm not sure. I believe that the A-level standard is better than STPM. As I heard that the syllabus from STPM is getting easier than after 2013, they changed the syllabus. And A-levels remain the same today. I'm not sure Dr. Chiong able to address and answer the difference between these two instead of asking for the foundation. Yeah.
No, it's okay. Because it depends, it is very subjective. It depends on how you define good and bad, what is worse and what is better. You know what I mean? Because STPM nowadays, we're not talking about, STPM, earlier on, they were talking about a one-time assessment only. But nowadays, they're talking about SEGi, which is a continuous assessment. If you ask me, I've seen the STPM assessment myself for the past few years. I don't think it is any easier than what we had last time, frankly speaking. I don't think it is any easier. It's just that the assessment structure is actually planned in a way, it looks like it helps the student to score better, but syllabus-wise, I don't think it's any easier, seriously.
Okay, I think that's what one of the STPM students trying to reply, called Yuli. I think that's the response from one of the STPM students. Science student myself would say that it's not true. That means it's not really easy. Just that after 2013, the syllabus is just the same as before. But I think the structure into semester basis, like the modular basis, like what Dr. Chiong have mentioned just now. I think the contents to be about, I think, like A levels, I would say. Perhaps Dr. Chiong.
The difficulty level is the same. To me, because I've seen both. I think that the difficulty level is the same. It's just that the assessment structure is a little bit different.
Okay, all right.
So if you ask me personally, I don't think STPM is any easier than A-level. Okay,
all right. There's one. Okay, I think the students say that your slides are a bit small, very difficult to read. Probably the device that they are using, other things. Perhaps Ivy, you would like to send a message later or to Isabel, then perhaps we can take it on from there. If you don't mind, okay, I'll take it up separately on this. All right. I know it's very informative, but just that the wording sometimes.
Because I try to. Because I try to actually fit everything. Because if I break it, then you won't be able to see the comparison. So I thought if these are on a computer screen is better, but if you're using a mobile, then it's very difficult to see. I realize that as well, but then if I don't put it together, I can't compare. You can't see the comparison. I'm sorry about it.
But students nowadays always on their mobile only.
I'm sorry about it, but I can share with you the slides of the working class.
Okay, all right. There's no more questions coming in. Perhaps Dr. wants to share with us about. Personally, I think that with this group of students that they are after high school or even after SPM, some of them might not have exposed to the e-learning or whatsoever, especially the SPM group. And then you started your intake already, am I right? Even the foundation.
Yes.
Okay, and then you started with the online orientation, and then probably they will go for online. How you extra steps, or how are you going to do that to ensure that these students are able to follow through, even though they are sitting at home now? And even orientation, everything is virtual now. Perhaps you want to share with us on that, okay? We didn't go into detail with your colleagues just now because of panel discussion. Perhaps there was some time you would like to share with the students. How do you do it?
Okay, actually how do we measure one by one? So firstly, the student when they go for orientation, what we just concluded just now. So during we've already concluded our orientation for the April intake. So what we did was we actually let the students through we used a platform called Blackboard. Okay, so they were actually briefing on how to use the Blackboard. Okay, so first of all, we will expect all the students to be able to log on to Blackboard. Then once they are in the Blackboard, they receive the individual subjects on the Blackboard. And on Blackboard, there is a forum where the students can post their questions. And individual lectures that even I myself can see the post of the student. And from there, we will guide the students step by step. We'll be able to do that. So I don't think there's any issue, because if we talk about follow through with the students, I don't think there is an issue. But one thing that we need to ask from the students, we need them to tell us that they can't follow, because When it is virtual, I wouldn't know whether you understand or you don't understand. So you really need to be proactive to tell us whether you understand what we are teaching or whether you are having any issue assessing the subject's materials. You really need to let us know. So while we are trying to help you, we also need the students to help us. At the same time, it's neutral. Otherwise, it's going to be one way and it's going to lead us nowhere.
Exactly. Especially our education system in Malaysia, in particularly, this group of students I would say they are post SPM. When they were in a high school, they just go into the class, and then the teacher will say, "Okay, that's what we're going to learn today," and then they will share with the students, and then they will give the notes to go back and read the notes. Would there be any difference that whereby SEGi have taken an approach that whereby you ask the student to read some notes before they come for the virtual class or online class, or just perhaps want to know about what it is?
The materials will have been uploaded in advance. I'm talking about reading materials. Then we have an e-lecture that follows. So basically, the students have a chance to read the notes first before they access the e-lectures.
Correct.
So it's a little bit different from, actually this is what we have been practicing. Even before the lockdown, we have the materials uploaded in advance. Then when the student goes to class, they can really start asking questions.
Good.
So not much, but anyway, PU is really a transition time for the students from secondary to university. They really need to get used to it. That's why earlier on when I was presenting, I was saying that it's always good for you to choose a university when you continue with your degree with, so that you don't have to waste time trying to adjust to the environment afterwards. It's a transition no matter how.
I understand. Especially the SPM students now, you're not able to see them physically face to face in the classroom. They are going to meet you just like us virtually. Am I right?
Yeah.
And then it's a challenge that you don't know whether they understand or don't understand.
Correct. Because when you do, of course, you can do some live session like this. But not every student turn on the camera. So you can't really see the face. So maybe I will make it a rule to make everyone turn on the camera when they are attending lecture, so I will know. So, but as of now, I don't think. That's why I say we depend very much on the students to tell us, to feedback to us whether they understand certain things or not. If they don't, we won't know. We really won't know. Of course, based on the assessment, we can try to gauge. We have this continuous assessment. Of course, from the first assessment, for example, we were able to gauge whether you understand or if you don't. But then, I think you have to be willing to learn. It's what I always tell. I always tell my students, you have to be willing to learn and let us help you. If you keep quiet, you don't know.
Exactly. Thanks for the share. I think also another 2 minutes perhaps. Dr. Chiong, you have any last sentence or anything you want to share before we close the session here with you?
Okay. So I will wish everyone congratulations, because if you are here, it means that you have completed the secondary school. So for the time being, because due to this COVID-19 and this is this law or MCO, we call it, everyone stays at home, but don't stop learning. And even if you have to join a university, of course, everyone now is doing the online learning and teaching. Don't feel stressed. Be open. Be open to your lecturers. Be open to try to learn a new way of learning. So everyone is adapting. Of course, please understand that not every lecturer might be techno-savvy as well, regardless of which university you go. So everyone is learning, and wish you all the best. And of course, I hope you can come to see me at SEGi University.
One Friday. Not virtually. I look forward to it as well. Thanks. Thanks for the sharing.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care. Bye.